All
All
right.
right. So we
Now,
played in Monaco in Monte Carlo in '68.
okay.
This tournament when I had the privilege to play the only game against Bodvinik, our
Hmm.
first meeting and the last one, unfortunately.
Hmm. How was the Monte Carlo in 68?
Well, beautiful as
Beautiful,
always, of
as
course,
always, huh?
But it was again, very important. They had only two or three very important tournaments in Monte Carlo. Afterwards, they stopped,
Yeah.
Afterwards, they had the
Only,
race,
only the cars.
yeah, the cars. All right.
Mm.
More spectacular,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I don't know if they still have
No,
in.
I think they organize something for women all the time,
Mm.
and they have for the European Championship one of the strongest teams in Europe is based in Monte Carlo. Of course, they give some very good
Understood.
financial possibilities and so on,
Hmm.
but only for women.
Hmm.
I don't think they organize again a very strong tournament, like this one, because
Hmm.
everything is changing now, it's open and so on.
Understood.
But
Okay.
then it was in '67, I think, '68, '69. All three tournaments very strong and very beautiful. And then, all right, they stopped, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right. So again, we have a pierce of of line for black.
Yeah.
Again, this very strong,
And aggressive.
line for white. There's aggressive line, but different this time. Okay, bishop g7, knight f3.
Now he didn't move the pawn.
He didn't move. Okay, and here we had the knight already out. You see, with knight f6 is another move order, without a4, without a5, and so on. Different.
Yeah.
All right. So castle. Okay, everything is normal until now. Bishop d3, knight c6, and here, exactly here. Um, in that time was the most modern line, you see. Instead of castle, white is better. Fischer had the possibility to show it for white first by moving immediately e5.
Mm.
E5 is in all positions better for white. I mean, here, but I knew this, of course, but I played against Letzelter, was not one of the strongest grandmasters in the world, so I could play it. I tried to win with black. Even if the position was very complicated, a little bit better for white, but I tried to win.
So you mean
So I
white?
accepted the fact. After e5, white is better. So the possibility is like this. E5 takes in e5 is better even with d takes e5, but it's better to take with other pawn. So and now knight d5, and after knight d5, Fischer won a lot of games, of course, and one of my important wins in some strong tournaments was against Donner, where here I took in d5, he took with a piece, and then everything is more or less forced. C3 and bishop g4, and after bishop g4, novelty in that time when I played against Donner, h3. It's very easy to play for white, because you take the white bishop. I mean, two bishops. You have two bishops. The bishop from g7 is a little bit out of play, a little bit closed, and fantastic structure. The white has a fantastic pawn structure to continue like
Yeah,
this.
I remember. I remember
Every
that
yeah,
game.
excellent
Yes.
game for white, and everything forced. Very
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah.
He has to take in f3. Queen takes. He has to take there.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Takes with the pawn. Then you play bishop e4, f4, h4, and so on.
Yes.
You play alone. You see,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
if I complicated a little bit myself, but
I
probably I could
remember.
win
Yes.
before that.
Yeah.
The plan is very good for white, for black. All right, so
But
um,
he castled here.
he castle, and after castle, the game is different. Now is another story. So right, bishop g4, 92. All right, and knight after 92 is not so simple. You don't have much better position if you play immediately e5, because the knight is already pinned. It's different story now. You see. So okay, 92, and here black plays normally knight b4. Is move by move again. You have to do something to get a very strong counterplay with black, but it's not easy. I mean, black has a counterplay, but it's not a decisive counterplay. All right, so knight b4. After knight b4, h3. I took in d3, he took with the queen, of course. And here, if you take in f3, you have very little. White is even here better if he takes back with the queen or even with the rook, because you don't have something with black. Okay, let's say you can have finally an even game, but not more. And white is coming very easy with another rook in f1, and finally he can put the pawn in f5 and continue to attack as a strong initiative, you know. So of course you don't take, I mean, black doesn't take in f3 and bishop d5. Now after knight g3, it seems that he has time to continue the attack immediately with this move f5, you know.
Yeah.
Come very quickly, f5, maybe even e5 afterwards and so on. So again, it's move by move. You have to find immediately a way to have some counterplay very quickly, you know, with black. So okay, this looks a little bit modest, but in reality, black continues a very nice plan that we'll see later. What is the idea? To put a very strong piece, at least one strong piece, in the center, on the central squares. You know.
Mm.
Okay, c6. After this,
Wasn't better to put to move e6 to block this?
no, because then the bishop from d7 is a little bit out of play, you know, and he has time to put e5 and knight e4, and he comes also very quickly, you know. You don't have really a counterplay after this, you know. This is the problem, you know. Here you have to get some counterplay very quickly with black, you know, in a few moves. All right, he continued normally with f5, and after f5, we have the first important moment, you know. So d5, okay. The most normal move here is to push, you know. Okay, he pushed,
Yeah.
you know, e5. And after e5, it starts, you know, knight e4. Now, it's more or less clear, the idea. If white takes in e4, after bishop takes f5, or even taking in e4 and then bishop takes f5, black is okay. A little bit better in all positions, you know. So, right, he doesn't take. And what did he play here? Knight h2. Of course, he wants to have many pieces on board, you know. In some idea, now he wants maybe even to give the exchange, but in reality, the idea is to put the knight in g4 and continue the initiative with bishop h6 or f6. You know, this is his idea, you know.
Yeah.
But after knight h2, black is preparing a very nice trap, you know, here with queen b6. So now what to do? He played king h1. Of course, he didn't like the pin, you know.
Yeah.
And after bishop takes f5, he's more or less forced because now you have to take in f5. No, I take, he takes, the rook takes, and okay, it is not good to take. In my opinion, the best move here was g4. But it's very difficult to play such a move as before because you lost a pawn, and black has already a fantastic knight in e4, you know, and it's not clear what happens here.
But what is the idea with g4?
He wants, if black takes in g4, he comes immediately with knight takes g4, and he has some attacking chances. If can put a piece on h6 with check or something like this, you know.
Yes.
It was probably the
Better option.
nicest way to play for, you know, to try something tactically. But he didn't realize. He played rook takes f5, and now is forced win for black, you know.
Nice.
And here queen d4, very big surprise, you know. But everything is very logical because white has many weaknesses, you know, everywhere on the central squares and in g3, and therefore the combination is possible, you know. So now he's forced. He has to take knight takes g3, and black takes back with decisive advantage the queen. You see?
Wow.
All right. So okay. Here white could resign, but he continued. He played rook g5. Now knight takes c2. Okay, 2 pawns up, and completely winning position. You know. And here he tries to continue tactically, you know, rook g4 with a small threat, bishop h6, you know, the last hope, you know. Of course, here black could play normally king h8, also winning, you know, no problem. But it's forced win in a few moves now. So h5, rook g3, and now here white can give the rook, hoping to come to h6. But after bishop h6, the simple move is king h7, and he loses every piece, you know, by force. He has to move bishop h6, the only move. Now,
yes.
Okay, king h7. Now what to do? If he takes with the rook, bishop takes rook g8, and okay, resign.
Oh, pin again.
Yeah, again. You know? But well, here is very simple, of course. But before that was very beautiful. Queen takes d4. logical, but very beautiful. You see.
Yes, nice.
But the idea was
Hmm.
okay, to realize later on was very simple. But
Was his
until there was,
was he surprised when he saw
well,
this?
of course, he was very. Everybody was very surprised to come with such a movie, Quinta. But it's possible because
Mm.
it's very nice combination, very quickly,
Yes, yes, yes. No.
Yeah, beautiful tactical example like this. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
the French champion. No, it,
Double
it
check.
happened. It happened again. Yeah. All
Beautiful.
right.
Okay, thank you for sharing, Mr.
You're
Gheorghiu.
welcome.